Hello, this is MTGology coming here with my very first video talking about the upcoming set Hour of Devastation, doing a little bit of early speculation. Now, in this first picture, this is the one that's been spoiled. It's kind of like the profile picture of Hour of Devastation, if you will. And obviously, you got the iconic Nicol Bolas Planeswalker on the front. And if you look in the background, you see like the same thing that's on his head, its little horns with the sun in between. And the reason I point that out is if we go into this next picture, these are the basic lands, the full art basic lands that were in Amonkhet. And in each one of them, you can see in the background the same Bolas horns. But the only difference between the two pictures is in the picture for Hour of Devastation, the sun is directly in between each horn. Now if you go back to these and look inside the basic lands, in each basic land, the sun is directly to the left of each of the horns, which kind of gives the idea of like a clock for when it reaches the middle, like high noon, that's the Hour of Devastation. Moving on to the next picture, this is just a card that has a little bit of flavor text that specifically names Nicol Bolas. And I'll read the cards. Open into Wonder. It's 2 blue and X, sorcery speed. X target creatures can't be blocked this turn. Until the end of turn, those creatures gain whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So not very Nicol Bolas-y, but it's more of a Jace thing, obviously, because you got him in the middle of the other planeswalkers, casting a spell. But it says, the one thing that the Gatewatch didn't expect to find on a plane ruled by Nicol Bolas was perfection. Which is a little irony because, obviously the next set is called Hour of Devastation, so they obviously don't know what to expect, or they don't understand what's going to happen. Moving into the next picture, this is kind of like one of the most, there's been a lot of overwhelming circumstantial evidence that Nicol Bolas is going to be in the next set. Obviously like the first picture has a picture of him right on it. But this is the proof. It's in Grixis colors, same colors as Nicol Bolas, plus 2 extra mana, sorcery speed. It says each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, then discards a card, and you may return a creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand, then draw a card, which is very similar to abilities that Nicol Bolas has. And it says, when you cast a Nicol Bolas Planeswalker spell, there's the proof right there, exile Dark Intimidations from your graveyard. That Planeswalker enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty counter. Now at first it seems like one additional loyalty counter, like that doesn't usually make a huge difference. When you first come down, like I highly doubt they're going to make a card that if you use this, you can just ultimate and use this final ability. But if you look at it, so let's say hypothetically it's the same Planeswalker that they already printed, which would be kind of lame, like I hope it's not. But if it was, now if you look, it comes down with 5 loyalty originally, but if it came down with that 1 extra loyalty counter, and then you'd be able to cast Nicol Bolas, activate it once, plus 3, and it'd already be at 9. And then the very next turn you could ultimate it, which would be pretty cool. And then for this very last card, Gate to the Afterlife, it kind of mentioned, we're going to talk about the God Pharaoh. Now, God Pharaoh was a nickname that a lot of the other gods and characters in Amonkhet used to reference Nicol Bolas. It's like some god-like character that they see him as a good being, and of course we know he's not. But the card says, whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you gain 1 life. Then you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Then pay 2, tap, sacrifice Gate to the Afterlife. Search your graveyard, hand, and or library for a card named God Pharaoh's Gift and put it onto the battlefield. Now because it says put it onto the battlefield, it's not an instant or sorcery spell. It has to be a permanent. And it's not going to be a planeswalker because Nicol Bolas is the planeswalker. And I would say God Pharaoh's Gift doesn't sound like the name of a creature, because usually creatures have specific, not human names, but they have a name, not just a gift. So it sounds like it might be an equipment or some other sort of artifact or enchantment. But to me, it sounds like an equipment. And it says, if you search your library this way, shuffle it, activate this ability only if there are 6 or more creature cards in your graveyard. Which doesn't seem extremely hard to do, especially if you're making a deck in which you maybe sacrifice a lot of creatures so you get triggers off the Gate to the Afterlife. And so it sounds like it could be pretty good. But we'll have to wait and see until the next set comes out. It's in June. And thanks for watching. This is my very first video, MTGology, and we'll see you in the next one.